Ah, the Netherlands in 1999, a land of tulips, windmills, and a whole lot of bicycles. Bikes weren't just a mode of transport, they were a lifestyle. From school kids in The Hague to grandmas in Groningen, everyone cycled. But back then, bike lanes? Narrow, unprotected, and more of a painted suggestion than actual safety. You had to be alert, real alert. Cobblestones, cars, mopeds, mallet, all fighting for the same piece of road. And still, the Dutch pedaled on, rain or shine, with those iconic back pedal brakes and milk crates tied to the front trams, and trains were everywhere. Reliable, yes, but definitely not the slick digital experience you get today. Picture this: paper tickets, those big orange machines that sometimes worked, and printed timetables stuck behind scratched glass panels. And if you missed your train, better grab a coffee and a crossword, because the next one might not show up for 30 minutes. And then there were the canals. In 1999, they were postcard material, beautiful, historic, and mostly just scenic. A cruise on the canal was a treat for tourists, not a part of your daily commute. Nobody thought boats could be part of the logistics future. They were for romance, not delivery routes. As for the roads, oh boy, roundabouts were everywhere, and they weren't always kind. Diesel engines coughed and sputtered down narrow city streets, painting the air with that familiar gray haze. Parking, a nightmare. Emissions, sky high. But somehow, it all worked. Traffic lights were simple, just red, amber, green. No AI, no sensors, no countdown. You waited, you hoped, and if you were lucky, you made it through the intersection without a moped swerving past. But even with all that, it had charm. There was something raw and real about the rhythm of the streets. People were more present, more patient. The hum of daily life moved at a slower, analog pace. The Netherlands in 1999 wasn't futuristic, but it was full of soul. Let's rewind the clock to 1999, when Dutch homes weren't smart, but they were full of heart. Picture this: rows of charming red brick terraced houses lining the canals, all standing proudly like they'd done for decades, some for over a century. No intercoms, no fingerprint scanners, just manual locks and a spare key hidden under the flower pot. And when you stepped inside, little cold in winter. Thanks to those old gas heaters that rattled when they kicked in. You had to twist a knob, wait for the flame to catch, and cross your fingers it didn't go out again. Internet? If you had it at all, it was dial-up. Slow, squeaky, and completely useless if someone picked up the landline phone. Logging on felt like launching a space mission. You've got mail. And 20 minutes later, you were still waiting for the page to load. The living room was cozy. A classic IKEA couch in front of a giant tube TV that needed its own shelf just to support the weight. Remote controls with only 5 working buttons, and VHS tapes scattered on the coffee table. Your own personal blockbuster. The windows? Drafty. They'd rattle every time a storm rolled through or a tram passed by outside. You'd roll up a towel and shove it in the gap to keep the cold out. Sustainable? Not really. But it felt real. In the kitchen, everything was manual, from grinding your coffee to lighting the gas stove with a matchstick. Dishwashers? A luxury. Most families washed up with a sponge and a bucket. Communication happened over landlines. You'd memorize numbers, actually memorize them, and call your friends using buttons that clicked. No texting. If you weren't home, too bad. But here's the thing. Even without smart fridges, AI speakers, or app-controlled heating, homes were full of connection. Families talked. Meals were shared. People wrote. Before smartwatches and super apps, before cloud storage and TikTok dances, there was 1999. In the Netherlands, tech lived in your pocket, but just barely. The ultimate flex? A Motorola flip phone. It didn't stream. It didn't take selfies, but it snapped open with style. You'd text using T9, hitting each key 3 times just to type hello. Pagers beeped on belts, mostly for doctors and delivery drivers. And when they buzzed, you didn't reply with a tap. You found a phone booth. Music? It came on shiny silver discs, CDs. You'd buy albums physically, slide them into a Discman, and pray it didn't skip when you hit a speed bump on your bike ride. LimeWire? Spotify? Years away. The internet was here, technically. But getting online meant disconnecting your phone, listening to a robotic chorus of static, and waiting, and waiting. And once you were online, pages loaded like paint drying. If someone picked up the landline mid-download, boom, disconnected. In offices across Amsterdam, fax machines spat out paper at all hours. Desks were stacked with floppy disks and printouts, and meetings were fueled by strong coffee, overhead projectors, and handwritten agendas. The average cloud was only in the sky, but despite its analog nature, there was a quiet buzz in the air. Tech was starting to peek through. Modems blinked in bedrooms. Web cafes popped up beside stroopwafel stands. The idea of a digital future was there, just blurry around the edges. Emails were new, exciting. Websites looked like digital flyers. And if you knew HTML, you were basically a wizard. It was a time of slow connections and big imaginations. No algorithms, no cloud sync, just the thrill of logging on and hearing that screechy tone say, "You're connected." And little did anyone know, in just a few decades, this flat, water-loving country would become one of Europe's smartest tech hubs. The Netherlands in 1999, before TikTok, before social media echo chambers, before the world fit in your pocket. It was a slower time, and honestly, a beautiful one. Music wasn't streamed, it was rewound. Cassette players clicked on every street corner, and vinyl? Making a serious comeback. Not because it was retro, but because it just sounded better. Whether it was Dutch pop, Eurodance, or classic hits from BZN or Domar, your soundtrack was physical, something you could hold in your hands. Corner shops smelled like fresh stroopwafels. Cafés had menus written in chalk, not touchscreens. You didn't scan a QR code. You asked what was good. And the barista probably remembered your name. And when the evening came, everyone, and we mean everyone, was watching Big Brother Netherlands. The show was a national obsession. Families gathered around actual TVs with antennas and no pause button. If you missed it, too bad. People lingered over dinner. There was no rush to post photos of your food. No likes, just conversation. And no phones buzzing at the table because phones stayed home. You wanted answers? You went to the library. Google existed, but barely. If you were a student in Amsterdam, you might have a dial-up connection, but your homework still relied on books, not ChatGPT. Think baggy jeans, oversized jackets, and clogs making a subtle comeback. People expressed themselves without filters, raw, real, and kind of awesome. Weekends were for being offline. Markets in The Hague, bike rides through Rotterdam, feeding ducks along the canals of Utrecht. It was peaceful, almost poetic. In 1999, life in the Netherlands was unfiltered. Slower, yes, but deeply human. You talked face to face. You read real books. You made mixtapes. You met friends without texting first. It wasn't better, just different. And it laid the foundation for a culture that still values connection, creativity, and gezelligheid. Welcome to the Netherlands in 2025. Where the roads whisper, the bikes rule, and even the boats are smart. These aren't your average bike lanes anymore. They're solar-powered, digitally lit, and insulated for year-round use. In the Netherlands, bikes are still king, but now they're e-assisted, app-tracked, and glide through green highways that power themselves. And those traffic jams from the 90s? Gone. Meet the AI-driven transport pod. No driver. No steering wheel. Just smart routing, smooth rides, and zero emissions. Remember when the canals were just for tourists and gondola selfies? Not anymore. In 2025, they've been reclaimed as routes of the future. EV water taxis, autonomous ferries, and delivery boats now cut through the city's heart with silent precision. And while you're sipping coffee on your Canal View balcony, your groceries might be landing via drone ticketing, fully digital, nationwide. One app, one tap. Whether you're hopping on a tram in Rotterdam, a tuk-tuk in Utrecht, or a ferry in Friesland, you're connected. Instantly. Urban movement is now a network, not a system, and it's built to adapt. In real time. Rainy and Groningen? The app reroutes you to the nearest covered scooter pod. Late night in Eindhoven? An EV shuttle's waiting, already synced with your calendar. Smart traffic lights? They don't just change color. They read traffic flow, adjust based on foot traffic, even reroute for better air quality. Every intersection is part of a living, thinking grid. And yes, it's all sustainable. From EV buses to wind-powered trains, the Dutch haven't just modernized their transport, they've made it a climate commitment. So what does it feel like to move around the Netherlands in 2025? It feels like freedom, no pollution, no traffic stress, just clean, fast, intuitive movement, all connected, all intentional. From cobblestone chaos to canal-powered calm, this isn't the future, it's now. And the roads? They've never looked more beautiful. The Netherlands, not just a land of windmills and canals anymore, but a country where even homes have joined the climate revolution. In 2025, your average Dutch home is anything but average. Green roofs soak up rainwater and sunlight. Wind turbines hum gently on the horizon. And your entire house runs on clean energy, most of it managed from your phone. Smart thermostats, voice-controlled lighting, door locks that recognize your face. In this world, forgetting your keys isn't a problem, forgetting your password might be. And for the Dutch, who've always danced with water, the future now floats. Eco-villages on canals are redefining urban living. They rise with the tides, generate their own power, and produce almost no waste. It's not science fiction, it's waterfront sustainability with style. In the cities, skyscrapers haven't just gone taller, they've gone greener. These apartment blocks are AI managed. From energy use to recycling, everything is optimized in real time. Solar glass, water-saving tech, and communal gardens make zero emissions more than a slogan. It's the standard. Inside, you won't just find families, you'll find freelancers, coders, vloggers, and entrepreneurs, living in stylish co-living spaces built for connection, not just shelter. Think private rooms, shared kitchens, community gardens, meditation pods, and fiber-speed Wi-Fi. And beyond the cities, even rural towns are transforming. Farmhouses retrofitted with smart tech, tiny homes powered by solar grids, suburbs designed for people, not parking spaces. In 1999, Dutch homes were cozy, brick-built, and charmingly analog. Today, they're self-aware, self-sustaining, and ready for anything. Your home now talks to you. It tells you how much energy you're saving, how much water you've recycled, and when the next rain shower will fill your rooftop reservoir. In the Netherlands of 2025, the home isn't just where the heart is, it's where the future lives. The Netherlands in 2025, forget waiting for dial-up. We're talking lightning-fast satellite broadband in the Dutch countryside, 5G that reaches your bike, your boat, even your fridge. Need groceries in Groningen? A drone drops them off before your tea finishes steeping. Remote town? No problem. The sky's your delivery lane now. In healthcare, AI now helps diagnose patients faster than ever. Hospitals are smarter, cleaner, and more connected. A doctor in Rotterdam can consult a patient in Friesland in real time with live metrics. Cities are now smart ecosystems. Amsterdam and Utrecht run on AI-optimized energy grids, predictive traffic models, and real-time pollution control. Waste bins even ping the municipality when they're full at work. It's borderless. The Dutch aren't stuck in office towers anymore. Remote work hubs, floating co-work spaces, and AI-powered productivity tools let you work from the beach or a boat. Even at home, it's all synced. Your smart home knows when you're cold, when to brew coffee, and when to close the blinds based on wind direction. The future isn't coming. It's already in your living room. Cyclists? Still iconic in the Netherlands, but now they ride on solar bike highways, charge their phones while pedaling, and get augmented reality bike lane alerts as they go. Tourism? Transformed. You can now walk through history using AR glasses. Imagine seeing Rembrandt's Amsterdam while standing in today's city square. Shopping? Tap, scan, done. Crypto payments, AI-curated outfits, and smart kiosks are replacing checkout lines and guesswork. Yes, even your local stroopwafels stand has a blockchain payment option. Even culture evolved. Live events, now simulcast in the metaverse. From music festivals to art shows, you're there whether you're on site or in slippers. From squeaky modems and flip phones to drones, AR, and AI-powered everything, the Netherlands didn't just adopt the future, it engineered it. And guess what? It's still biking, still building, still innovating. This is the Dutch digital revolution, where tradition meets tech in the coolest ways imaginable. Grab a coffee? Sure, but don't expect to see cash or menus. Just scan, tap, and let your robotic barista do the rest. Street performers? Still here. But now, they're live streaming their sets to fans across the globe, Venmo tips included. Those charming local markets? They've gone smart. App-guided tours tell you where the stroopwafels are hottest. And yes, they take crypto and the iconic tulip festivals, still blooming. But now, they come with synchronized drone shows lighting up the Dutch sky. In 2025, the Netherlands hasn't lost its charm. It's just leveled up. Tradition never looked so futuristic.